From the heart of the city, straight to your radio. Honest, intimate, real. This is where love gets real and real gets deep. It's not just talk, it's the Love Talk Show. Are you ready? Then let's dive in right now.
Hello everyone, a very good evening. The Love Talk Show is on air, and today again bringing another topic, talking about a love life. How many times people are struggling in relationships because they are not able to see what is on the other side of the coin. And as simple as that, just with a different perspective, sometimes a person can take the right and the right steps in order to change their own life or to make it a little bit better. Andrea, good evening.
Hello, good evening, everyone. And just adding to what you're saying, sometimes people are not willing to flip the coin because of stubbornness. It's not that the other side of the coin doesn't exist. Sometimes a simple gesture as flipping the coin to see the other side is what makes things difficult. So we are here today to talk about this topic under the light of intelligent love, and you are more than welcome to stay there and be with us in this journey.
You know, there are couples who are struggling a lot because she was laughing because we are talking about stubbornness.
Yeah, that's
we
a
are
good one.
talking today. We are going to talk with couples or about couples. They don't need They don't need therapy. What they need is a referee, because there are no rules for what they do, and they are hurting each other. You know, these couples, they don't know what the limits are, and unfortunately they are crossing all the limits and bringing problems to each other, and obviously consequently to everything that is around them. Well, I would like to share this video with you, and then we are talking about it.
Forget the therapist couch. Some of you don't need a breakthrough, you need a referee. Welcome back to Love Talk Show, where today we are blowing the whistle on the couple who doesn't need therapy, they need a referee. We're looking at those couples who aren't fighting to heal, they're fighting to win. This isn't a high-intensity explosion. It's a battle of endurance. It's a strategic eye roll, an aggressive way of loading the dishwasher to show you're annoyed, and that heavy, suffocating silence that could power an entire Netflix series. You know the ones, like Grey's Anatomy or Star Wars, where just when you think it's over, a new season or drama drops. Some of your arguments have been running for 15 seasons with no series finale in sight. You don't need a session, you need a scoreboard, a whistle, and a forced timeout before this silent standoff turns into a lifetime of resentment. We see this winner-takes-it-all mentality perfectly captured in the movie The War of the Roses, where a couple's competitive nature turns their home into a literal battlefield.
Let me have it.
They stop seeing each other as partners and start seeing each other as targets. Or look at the legendary tension between Betty Davis and Joan Crawford. Though they weren't a couple, their feud of endurance is exactly what happens in a marriage when pride becomes more important than peace. They would rather suffer in the trenches than be the first to say, "I'm sorry." The cost of this constant scoring is devastating. According to the research by Gottman Institute, stonewalling, the act of using silence as a weapon, is one of the 4 horsemen that predict relationship failure with over 90% accuracy. Furthermore, a study by the Journal of Marriage and Family highlights that chronic emotional tension in the home doesn't just exhaust the couple, it creates a stress blueprint the children. Kids who grow up in homes with high endured conflict are 40% more likely to struggle with their own relationship boundaries as adults because they've learned that love is a game of who can hold out the longest. Why play a game where the only prize is loneliness? Why keep running a race that gives you the same exhausted result every single season? If you're winning every argument but losing your partner's heart, are you really winning at all? I want you to reflect. Is your pride worth the silence of a hallway? Are you teaching your children that love is a battle to be won or a garden to be tended? If you're tired of the seasons of tension and you're ready to trade your scoreboard for a white flag, stay tuned. We're going to show you how to call an official timeout and finally end the war. As the saying goes, in a relationship, you can either be right or you can be happy. We'll show you how to choose happiness when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
This is the Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.
Yeah, there are couples who they don't need a therapist, they need a referee. And their battle is not with words, but the battle is with strategies. The battle is with the rolling eyes. The battle is with, ignoring. And it's not a matter of who is going to hurt more, but it's a battle of endurance where they try to prove a point and to make their own opinion to prevail. It's the kind of couples they are living together. It's not the arguing that comes up, but it's a strategy of endurance to see who is going to win, to prove that their point is more valuable, it's more important, and they are right, and the other one is wrong.
And you know what, Peter, I was even thinking that we can't change people from within. We can only change our point of view, the way that we behave, the way that we treat people. And, we have been a couple for more than 2 decades now, almost 3 decades. Wow, it sounds a lot. But of course, we had our arguments, our the days that we had different opinions. And of course, when we want to prove a point like you were mentioning, sometimes we can become a little bit stubborn. And I was even comparing sometimes these disagreements between couples with a tantrum that a child running a tantrum. That's, I believe,
throwing a tantrum.
Or throwing a tantrum, yes. When you see a child in the market or in a park throwing a tantrum, I've seen that, and I even commented with my husband a few days ago, and it's really bad. You want to intervene, you want to do something about it. And the same way happens when a couple is disagreeing. If a third person were to watch, sometimes that person would have a very different perspective, and with the word everything could come to an end. Just if the person was to intervene, please do this or do that, or just apologize. So hours of arguments and disagreements could come to an end in just, for example, a word or a few seconds. So when we are outside, when a third person, like a referee, that's what we are talking about today, like a referee intervenes, it's because the people, for example, the couple, that's what we are talking about here, about love life, it's because they are not understanding each other. It's because it's not being sorted by common sense, and someone needs to intervene, because when we are led by emotions, we always want to win. We always want to take advantage. And sometimes it doesn't matter if I'm losing a relationship. Here I'm being very... I'm going to an edge, to an extreme, but sometimes the person, doesn't matter if she loses or he loses the relationship, but they want to keep their reason, their point of view.
So you see, for you just to understand, nowadays people, they start relationships with phone, but they also put an end to relationships using the phone. I've seen people leaving the house and they just mention it through a message, a text message, and okay, I'm gone, I'm not coming back, and it's done. And today, couples sometimes are battling with their phones. They are inside of the same house, but they are replying. It's a battle of messages. It's to see the one that is going to win with the message, proving their own point, and sometimes hurting each other, sending a message, reminding about things that happened. And in the moment of the heat, you end up elaborating a message, and a message full of malice, because love is not coming up at this moment, a message full of malice, and you are hurting. And then the person replies and you reply again, and it's a battle. It's literally a battlefield where there are no rules, there are no limits, there's no referee whatsoever, there's nothing to establish a limit between husband and wife, between couples. And they just want to prove a point, and they are bringing up kids, and they are bringing up what someone else said, and they are bringing up when they've done this, and when they did not do something, and when they said something, and mix this with half-truths. This can be extremely provocative and dangerous, and this is contaminating, bringing like a cancer between couples. Well, let's hear what people outside they have to say. The Love Talk Show went outside and asked what they have to say about these kind of situations.
Straight from the people, straight to you. The word on the street.
Can stubbornness be attractive?
Stubbornness, of course. Us as men, we like a challenge, a little bit of challenge. So when, let's say, the woman will put up a little bit of stubbornness, I think that's attractive, yes.
If you're too stubborn, you don't have any fun, so no.
Honestly, I find it really attractive, actually, showing that somebody can, advocate for what they want, and, they're steadfast. If they can be steadfast in their opinion, then they can be steadfast with you.
I think it can in some ways, but I think too much of it can be quite unattractive if you're not willing to compromise on anything.
I think it can definitely be attractive when the person has their own opinion and can defend it. So I think the short answer is yes, it can.
Do people respect stubborn partners or fear them?
I guess it really depends on how you demonstrate your stubbornness, but I think if both people are respectful, then yes, they would respect it.
I think they fear him more. At least me, if someone's stubborn, I don't respect them.
Well, it depends probably in the stage of relationship, because it's interesting, it's challenging at the beginning, but maybe over time it becomes a little bit of a stepping stone in the relationship between two people. I mean, positive stubbornness is beneficial, but when it's just a reason for arguments and stuff, that's probably detrimental.
This is just my personal opinion. I can respect that. I'm a pretty stubborn person myself. So I would say I don't really fear somebody's stubbornness unless it inhibits my ability to do things.
I think you can respect them if they're stubborn, as in they have a strong opinion about something. But I think if they are just unwilling to compromise, then I think that can be a little bit toxic.
What ends the argumentation between stubborn couples? Time, sleep, or hunger?
I think probably time. Time to, reflect on it, I guess.
Time, sleep, or hunger? I think time. Because then eventually someone will give in, right?
Definitely time. Yeah, I'd have to agree with my friend Michael here. That, eventually with time, you're gonna get bored of doing what that person wants all the time. And why spend your life living for somebody else,
To be honest, I would answer communication, but if I had to choose out of these, I think sleep, because very often people just need to sleep on the problem, calm down, and then discuss it the next day.
Well, let's say time, although I'm not convinced about it.
Does every couple need therapy or just a referee with a whistle?
I don't believe in therapy. I think talking about it and directly with the person is the only way to sort things out. Maybe different people think differently, but I think communication is the way.
Depends on the couple. Depends on their life. I would say, like, my parents would be fine with a mediator. So I guess that's the best comparison I have.
I think it can be helpful to have therapy, but I don't think it's always needed if you've got good communication with each other.
I don't think every couple needs therapy. Like, maybe on some issues, some outside help might help, but usually a couple should figure out their own problems by themselves.
No, I don't think so. I think when both people understand that communication is the key, they can definitely solve their issues without a mediator.
This is the Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.
It's always it's always good to know what people think, and the perspective people have according to the same point, the same situation. And please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying here that I'm on the side of any of them. Is their opinion, and thank you so much for everyone who are sharing their opinion with us. But this makes me think and understand what we were talking about. When people, for example, are in a fight of messaging, when a couple starts with the fight of bringing family members on their side to prove their point. You see, my brother, my sister, my mom, my dad, sometimes even your dad, your father, your mom is on my side. They believe in me, they trust in me, they agree with me, and escalating, and not only the tone of voice, but trying to use arguments just to prove their point. And the worst of all is they are creating a huge wound between the couple. They are not solving the problem. And this, Andrea, sounds so simple, and in certain cases it sounds even silly. But the reality is couples are hurting each other exactly like this. To people who love each other, to people who really love each other, they want to spend time with each other, they have plans together, they really believe they are for each other, but they have no barriers, limits when the subject is to prove a point. And this stubbornness and pride are coming up and taking a very important, role in all of this. And we have people at this moment listening, and they are listening to us, and they know exactly what we are talking about. There are couples at this moment, they are laughing on each other because they see this is what it's happening with them.
It's interesting because I was thinking about referees. I don't understand much about sports, but each sport has their own referee. And you know what? The few times that I've watched sports, soccer, for example, more, sometimes they do.
Here is football.
Sorry, football. Okay, sorry. Football. So they argue.
You really know it, eh?
Yeah, I'm really an expert. So they argue. They also argue with the referee. Mm-hmm. So you see, they argue with each other. They argue with the referee because this is what pride does. This is what stubbornness does, and that's when conflicts they arise and they become worse and they escalate sometimes to a separation. I was thinking about this because if you don't want to give in, if we are not humble, if we are not willing to sacrifice for each other, we always talk about love. Our program is the Love Talk Show. And people think, yes, love, butterflies and hearts. No, it's sacrificing. We always talk about this and explain love / or equals to sacrifice for each other. Sometimes we really need to choose which battles we are willing to fight, because something silly, something simple sometimes is transformed in a huge matter, in a huge war zone that will bring very bad consequences to the person, to the people themselves, so the couple involved, and to the family, because when this involves kids and children, of course, they don't follow what you say most of the times. They follow examples, and they are seeing that you have been arguing all the time. Sometimes, like I said, about silly things, or you didn't do the dishes, or your clothes are all over. If this needs to be addressed, it needs to be addressed. Of course, this
but it's not a battle.
Things,
it's not a battle of knowing who is going to win.
Or who is right or wrong. We can address it in the proper moment, in an appropriate tone, because the tone and the words, when you hurt each other, so we can't withdraw what we've said, and this can bring consequences in the future.
So is ego a sign of confidence? Do you see ego as a sign of confidence? You look to your marriage, and you think, no, I need to. He or she needs to acknowledge they are wrong. But who is right and who is wrong? Here, it's not the point is not to prove who is right or who is wrong, because you can prove that you are right or you can prove that you are wrong. But what is the damage? What is the trace of disappointment and sadness and and anguish and offensive words that you are leaving behind just for you to say I'm right or I'm wrong? And this is not the main goal. The main goal here is for you to fix the problem, is for you to be happy in your or for a person to be happy in their relationship, in the marriage they are in, because this is why people they get married, to be happy with someone. But sometimes ego, it's bringing a very big receipt that needs to be paid
eventually.
You need to pay for it. So what can be done? Instead of you focusing, and this is so simple, instead of focusing the person, focus the problem. Focus the problem, not the person. Don't try to convince the person how wrong he or she is or how wrong you are. Try to focus the problem. What can be done to focus the problem? If together you are uniting your strength, your knowledge, you are united by love, and together you are going against the problem, you as a team will be stronger and the problem will lose its strength. So the main goal here, because if the problem grows and if the problem gains strength, you both are losing. Even if you prove that you are right, this here is losing. The problem won and this lost. So, and you don't want this to lose. You don't want this to be affected or destroyed. So together you have to fight against the problem. So instead of you being
enemies
or trying to be, the owner of the reason or the owner of
the truth,
I'm right and the person has to submit to what I'm saying. That's not the main goal. This will take you nowhere. At the end, even if you could prove that you're right, that probably you won't, but even if you prove that you are right, what is the trace that you are leaving behind? What is the damage that is behind? How is the situation in your marriage, in your relationship if you do it? So focus in what really is important. So it's not accusing, it's not trying to overcome this battle with messages or with friends or with family members, or trying to show papers or show this or show that just to prove your point. But it's a matter of what can we do to solve it. And with it, for sure, as a team, you will know what the next step is.
4 seasons of winter, and you'd give anything to feel the sun. Always reaching, always climbing, always second guessing the timing. But God has a plan, a purpose in this. You are his child, and don't you forget. He put that hunger in your heart. He put that fire in your soul. His love is the reason to keep on believing. When you feel like giving up, when you feel like giving in, his love is the reason to keep on believing. If we could pull back the curtain of heaven, we would see his hand on everything. Every hour, every minute, every second, he's always been in it. Don't let a shadow of a doubt take hold. Hold on to what you already know. He put that hunger in your heart. He put that fire in your soul. His love is the reason to keep on believing. When you feel like giving up, when you feel like giving in, his love is the reason to keep on believing. It's the reason, it's the reason, his love is the reason. He's the peace in the madness that you can't explain. He's the hope in the heartbreak, the rest in the suffering. He's closer than the air you breathe, from the start to the end, to the in-between. Don't you dare doubt even for a minute what he started in you, yeah, he's gonna finish. He put that hunger in your heart. He put that fire in your soul. His love is the reason to keep on believing. Just keep on believing. When you feel like giving up, when you feel like giving in, his love is the reason to keep on believing. It's the reason. It's the reason. His love is the reason. It's the reason. It's the reason. His love is the reason. Hey.
You've got people all around you, yet somehow it still feels like you're on your own. You laugh, you smile, you keep going, but underneath it's a different story. There's this heavy silence, and it makes everything feel harder to carry. Sometimes it feels like no one really sees what you're going through. But here's the thing. You don't have to handle all of this by yourself. Whenever it feels too much, whenever the weight is crushing, you're not alone. Someone's here, ready to listen, ready to stand with you. The Universal Church 24-hour helpline is open every day, every night, whenever you need. On the other side of the line, there is always a caring voice ready to listen. No judgment, no criticism, just understanding, comfort and support. Don't give up. Don't keep it all inside. If you ever feel like there's nowhere to turn, remember, you can always call us. Call 020 7686 6000 at any time of the day or night. Or if you prefer, send us a WhatsApp message on 020 7686 6010. The Universal Church, here for you 24 hours a day.
This is the Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.
We sometimes see people embracing this idea that they are right, and they are fighting for something that is fair and just, and they are basing themselves on righteousness. But at the end of the day, when you see the mess that comes out of these decisions and whatever we are doing, you see that the result is not as good as you desire or you wanted. Because if you are hurting or being hurt, and your marriage, your relationship, your life, or your love life is being compromised with it, what's the point of keeping on hurting each other? We see, and we have a real story to share with you here of a couple who the offenses were there, the pointing fingers were there, but until one day they realized we have to do something concerning to this. And when they fought against the problem, so they become the couple they need to be, and the problem was overcome.
And we have to acknowledge that it takes two people to argue. So if one of them says, acknowledges the situation, okay, if we continue in this line of thought, if we continue with these disagreements and escalating our tone of voice, it will never end. So we have to stop this blaming game and start finding solutions for each other. I believe no one wants to argue, no one wants to cause confusion, and people really want answers and really want to find solutions. But sometimes what we're lacking is humbleness to give the first step, humbleness to recognize I am wrong. The other person might be not so right, but I'm also wrong. So we can give steps into agreement and stop disagreeing with each other. If we are not able to sort it now because our emotions are still all over the place and we are just on top of the situation, and the situation just happened and you are angry with each other, and you know that way you can't solve anything. So stop, breathe, give it a little bit of time, and then go back to the subject, calmer, and trying to find solution. If you need a referee, we also have a solution for that we are going to talk about.
Let's pay attention to this testimony.
What problems did you fight about? What was the problem you faced in your relationship?
He was very abusive towards me. He used to beat me a lot and had many mistresses. So I was a very sad person. I was very distressed and frustrated in my love life. I could not see a way out.
I was a brute, a horse. Well, she forgot to say something else here. I also used to forbid her from doing many things. Besides that, I had a motto. As long as she did not catch me cheating on her, she could not say anything. However, I cheated on her many times. And if she came to me saying that she was going to leave me, I would threaten to kill her, threaten to beat her. That happened not only once, I did it many times. I was a very possessive person. I did not give her space to do anything. Until it came to the point where she did cheat on me. For me, this was a disaster. When that happened, as I had already promised that I would kill her, I asked to borrow a gun from a man who was my partner in crime in order to kill her. However, he refused, so I got a knife and got on top of her. I spent a whole night beating her up. However, I made a promise to her and to myself that from that day on, she would suffer the same way as I had suffered that day. That is, I used to cheat on her a lot. I guess I had at least 15 people with whom I had cheated on her.
Let's talk about when you started fighting for your marriage. Did you come to the love therapy first?
Yes, it was me who came first.
Alone?
Alone. Actually, he came sometimes, but with a foot here and another one there, doing things all wrong. However, the seminars helped me very much to heal myself, to look after myself to the point where I started fighting for him. First, I had to learn to give him up, and that was when the real change began. It took me a while because I was continually fighting with my own strength. I wanted to do it my way. I was also anxious and wanted change quickly. I did not want it gradually. I wanted things to happen quickly. I started trusting God and allowed Him to tell me what I should do instead of doing it my way. However, in the meantime, many people told me, give up on him. There is no way for you both. He is not going to change. But I persisted because I knew there was a way. This was one of the things I had heard in the seminars. There is a way.
So, when was it that you finally changed?
It was exactly because of what she said. She gave me up. So she came to the seminars and invited me to come along. But I brought my mistress with me. Yes,
what?
I used to bring my mistress along. I sat in that corner of the temple. She was on one side and I was on the other with my mistress.
Wait a minute. Your wife came to the seminar and she sat away from you.
She sat on this side and I sat on the other side.
With your mistress?
With my mistress.
What was your intention?
I wanted to know what she was doing to have changed so much. That was the reason. I wanted to know why she was changing so much. It was such that when I came home and started arguing with her, she did not answer back. And when I went home, the food would be ready. I even threw the food on the floor, broke the plates, and she did not have any reaction. So I started to see this change in her, and that aroused an interest in getting to know more about the seminars. So I went all in. All in. When I went to my mistress's house, I started to feel bad. So I called her, forgive me, I'm coming home. I'm not at work and I do not want this anymore. But instead of criticizing me, something that she would do, she started to help me. Get closer to God. Take the seminar seriously and you will see the changes. So this was when I started to make steps to change for real. Thereafter, God started to bless us. The seminars kept feeding us and I started to have a different attitude, have the manner of a real man. I learned that in order to change, I had to change myself. So I got rid of the many complexes that I had inside of me as a result of my troubled family. After a year, I tried asking her to marry me again. So she said, now you are ready. So I will marry you.
This is the Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.
This couple's life transformed and better is an example of what can happen when we are humble and we accept that it's not a matter of being right, it's a matter of doing what the right thing is for the problem to be solved. In the book that we are going to seek strength so many times, we call Bible, says, be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your wrath. Even says, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. So, simple steps, simple actions sometimes can bring very good results ahead. And I know that when we are talking here, it sounds simple, but when emotions are coming up, they are messing everything. And the person ends up saying things that they should. And maybe you are watching, you are listening to what we are saying, and you say this, but Peter, that's the truth. I end up saying, I end up doing, I end up going. And when I see, I already hurt, I already disappointed, I already deceived, I already, created this wound. Well, we believe that there's always the chance of turning things around. That's why we are in the love therapy. Even today, we had another love therapy where people, they brought the rose and they've learned how to use this rose, because in the dry desert, it's written that God can make a rose to blossom. And we believe you can also have a better life and have your life being transformed. Every single day we are here, although the love therapy happens on Thursdays. But next Thursday, we are going to be with the next love therapy. But our doors are every single day open.
Open 232 Seven Sisters Road, Finsbury Park, close by Finsbury Park train station. You are our special guest. And if you want to be advised, we do have a team. Besides our love team that is here to help everyone, we do have a team of couples ready to advise you, even if you are single, because we went through probably what you are going through today. So people are capable to help you in whatever you are facing.
Let's say they will be the emotional referee. Okay?
Yeah.
You are real to me, more than this ground beneath my feet. You are life to me, more than the very air I breathe. I love you. It's simple to say, but I love you more every day. You see my heart and you know that it is true. I love you. I love you. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You are good to me, still even better than I think. You are strong for me, for every time that I can't be. I love you. It's simple to say, but I love you more every day. You see my heart and you know that it is true. I love you. I love you. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I have seen you as a healer right before my very eyes. I found in you a father, nothing missing from your side. I've known you as my savior, you have brought me back to life. How I love you. Yes, I do. How I love you. Yes, I do. I love you. It's simple to say, but I love you more every day. You see my heart and you know that it is true. I love you. I love you. Yes, I do. 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 Yes, I do.
This is the Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio. Real stories, real dilemmas, real solutions. Only on the Dear Love Talk Show.
I care about someone, but I don't feel ready for a relationship. Is it okay to feel both at the same time?
Obviously, it's okay if you feel both at the same time. This just proves that you are a human being. But this doesn't mean that you should take any action concerning to be with someone under those emotions. Obviously, that if you don't feel ready for a relationship, you should not start one, because we should not gamble with people, or we should not gamble with relationship. For you to start a relationship, you cannot expect someone to give you the assurance, the certainty, the calmness, or the support that you can only find in yourself. If you are putting this on someone else, that person sooner or later will end up to, not to fail you, but will end up to reveal a kind of weakness, because no one is perfect. And you will blame this person for everything that is going on in your life. So first of all, yes, you have to understand, look at yourself and see that you are ready to start a relationship, that you will not be depending on anyone's assurance or anyone's motivation, but you will be prepared to motivate, to be there, to support, and to start that relationship with this person. Well, if you have any other question, you can send it to love@uckg.org, and we'll be more than happy to bring it here to our program and give it to you, our opinion. Andrea, the Love Talk Show is now reaching the end. Every single day we are here at 10 p.m. and tomorrow we are coming back.
We are coming back to keep you company 10 p.m. It was our pleasure being here with you. Bye-bye.
May God bless you all. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
We just ended the Love Therapy Seminar. What stood out to you the most?
What stood out for me the most is that even in the situations where it seems like there's nothing happening, where it seems like it's if I could say, a really trying moment for you, sometimes we have a hope of what we expect our lives to be like and how we expect things to go, but just to keep trusting, to keep persevering, to keep believing in that God will even allow for the blessing that you want to come from the most unexpected place.
What do you think impedes people the most from using their faith or believing when it comes to their love life?
Putting themselves out there. Like, for example, sometimes they might say they're not ready, but they are ready. Like, okay, maybe they are not ready, but like if they put themselves out there, like for example, go to the Singles Hour, for example, like they will maybe learn something about themselves. Like you don't go to the Singles Hour to find your whoever you're gonna marry. You go there for the experience. You go there to find out about yourself. Just put yourself out there. Like even if you're thinking already, just put yourself out there, and then you learn something about yourself.
Why do you think a lot of people struggle with putting themselves out there? Like what is the doubt that they kind of have, or what's the thought that they have in regards to being bold or confident regarding their love life?
I would say the doubt that people have is that I think a lot of people fear rejection, and I think a lot of people fear what other people would think about them also if they were to put themselves out there. Maybe they think that people would think of them as desperate. And there were times that I went to the Singles Hour, and sometimes you're there and you're seeing the same three people. Sometimes you're there and honestly, you're only doing it by faith. But the more that you persevere, the more that you even just learn how to talk to people. Singles Hour really helped me to just speak to people, so that by the time I was able to, develop this relationship, I actually knew how to hold a conversation. Because honestly, I didn't know how to speak to guys. I did not know. I would see a guy, I would run away. But coming to the Singles Hour, it's like, wow, they're human. They actually have hobbies. They have things that they enjoy. And even just allowing that in a safe environment can do so much to even your own confidence. And it also helps you to handle rejection as well, to be honest. Because even when you think you're the best thing, like sometimes you get humbled. So it's actually an amazing experience in all aspects. Even if you don't find that person that you want to meet there in the Singles Hour, just the fact that it allows your own personal development is an experience that I would say that you shouldn't pass up.
Want to experience the love therapy for yourself? Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. at 232 Seven Sisters Road, Finsbury Park. You'll be inspired.
The days go by quickly. Various obligations, duties, problems to deal with. There are so many things that drain your time that sometimes there isn't even a moment to stop and reflect. You hear people saying that you need to change this or that, but you've never stopped to think as to whether they were right or not. You simply go through life thinking, maybe one day things will change, right? However, this way of yours has already made you lose out on a lot. People have abandoned you, problems have arisen. At certain times, even when with friends, you feel alone and empty. Now is the time for you to stop and reflect on your life and your actions. Now is the time to change. this Thursday at 8 p.m. at the Love Therapy. Take this night to begin to heal the wounds from the past and learn how you can become a new person. Available in London only at the Cathedral of Miracles, 232 Seven Sisters Road, Finsbury Park, London N4 3NX. The seminars are broadcast live to our branches outside of London. For the addresses of these locations, visit uckg.org/addresses. For more information and to keep up to date with any special events, visit and follow our Instagram page at Love Therapy UK.
That's a wrap on today's Love Talk Show, where every conversation brings you closer to intelligent love. We'll be back soon with more love, more truth, and more talk. Until next time, keep practicing intelligent love.